So starting right at the beginning, this is a pretty high level summary, but 90 days beforehand, you want to start that communication and reminding folks that the closeout's coming, to request no cost extensions if they need them, so that we can get that process, take it off our closeout list. But then if we are moving forward with the closeout, starting to think about where some of those expenditures are going to post. Moving into 60 days before, we're going to look at any expenditures that we've incurred but we haven't paid yet, and we need to make sure that we're staying on top of our liquidation obligations. And then looking to see what else might still be coming in and still be justified as allowable. Again, we talk about needing to have our expenditures be allowable. Just because you're charging something within the last 60, 30 days of an award doesn't necessarily mean that it's unallowable, but you definitely do want to make sure that you've substantiated that, that the PI and the department can speak to why that charge is necessary in those kind of waning days of an award. And then again, an experience I think we've all been on both sides of, reminding your subawardees that they need to get their invoices in as well, and looking at when those final invoices are due so we can get those in and posted and paid. Finally, 30 days before, this is where we're looking at whether we need to set up a new account. Perhaps it is a competing continuation, or however your institution has it set up, that we're getting things onto a new award if the programmatic work is continuing. If the programmatic work isn't continuing, and we're moving things to other funds, that department administrators have had time to identify where those charges are going to post, particularly for ongoing charges like salary or vivarium expenses, things like that that are going to keep coming in regardless of where they post to. Then just making sure that anything else is really closed out so that our purchase orders are getting shut down. We don't have this on here, but if you need to transfer any assets to different chart field strings, even just going around and doing some of the sillier stuff like pulling charge tags off of your cages and your vivarium, right? And just making sure that those transfer over to the right chart field string. I think those get to be really, really important things to start doing early. Then we hit closeout. So the award's over. We've closed it with, or hit the award end date. Programmatic work has stopped. And then we continue in on this closeout process. So again, just talking about department communication, ideally within 30 days, Central is able to send the department an initial reconciliation so that they can start seeing what's on there, and identifying if there are any other charges pending. Hopefully your institution has a policy or a procedure in place that's going to help govern when you can continue to post expenses. Maybe you have expenses posted within 60 days of award closeout, so that you've again got time to liquidate, make sure it's all in there before you submit the FSR. Sometimes that's not always achievable. So again, maybe some one-offs to deal with if you know an invoice is coming, but it hasn't come in yet. But in general, we want to start that early so that everybody has time to be making those phone calls to those subawardees or to those vendors, what have you, and making sure again that those expenses get in and posted. 60 days, again, following up with the department, looking at any additional reconciliations because of new expenses that have come in. Make sure that charges aren't continuing to post unless they are some of those trailing allowable expenses that you've, again, kind of ideally already identified. And then 90 days after, this is really when we want to make sure that expenditures have posted. We've got those liquidation obligations under various federal agency procedures, and then we really need to be focused on getting our FSRs in. So making sure that the FSR is tying out to that reconciliation. We've resolved any issues between what's showing on our financial system and what we think is going to start showing. We've agreed to allowability, and then finally we're going to submit the FSR. And we're going to close the award, actually shut it down in the financial system.